Today I thought I would play on these journal pages that I've done a lot of layers on. There's writing underneath where I actually journaled, and then I've painted on top of it. I've used alcohol to make spatters, and so this is all in acrylic, but I thought I would use these oil sticks that Paul Rubens recently sent to me, and there's a couple colors not in the set that I really like to have, and one is teal, which I have quite a bit in this painting, and the other thing is of course white for blending. So I've got a couple of R&F pigment sticks here as well, the jumbo white and this teal color, cobalt teal. So this is my figurative sketchbook, and I thought I would just continue on with that. And I just want to keep this simple because my objective is really to play with these oil sticks. So I'm kind of liking this part that's a bit more copper, and thought I would kind of keep that. So kind of dark and moody this is. I also like the mottled texture in here. Kind of see that maybe this could be a head. So something along that line. I do want to leave a lot of the background, but add a little bit more color to the figures. So I've got some reds in here, and yeah, kind of pinky tones. So let's see what we can do. We want some definition between the two. So I haven't played a ton with oil sticks other than adding them a little bit in with encaustic and oil and cold wax, but just to use them as an art medium on their own. I haven't played a lot with them. Blend that out with a paper towel, shop towel. So if you yourself work a lot with oil sticks and oil bars, and you have some tips, I would love to hear them if you want to leave them in the comments below. And one thing I know is the oil sticks will skin over, and so you have to peel that skin back, or you can use a razor blade. The R&F sticks are very, very soft. So just want to put a little bit of color in places. I think actually I'm going to put a glow in around the heads instead of the heads themselves. So today we have a fire burning out of control, a forest fire quite close to me, and not that I'm in danger, but he can hear the planes fly over, so you may hear some of that in the video. So the air is a little bit on the smoky side. Just really where I am, it's hazy here, but you can definitely tell there's fire. So I'm liking this bit of red over here, and just wonder if I should add a little bit of red in the background. I don't really love yellow. It's interesting, I'm just rubbing it off. Let's try a brush. So I need some definition between the background and this black. Let's see, I think I'll go on the outside. Wish I had this blue color, but I don't. But that actually doesn't look too bad. I find it's a lot of fun to experiment as well, and let's get some different ideas and see what you can do. Don't like this white speck here. I really like the words coming through there, but it's a little too bright for it to be up in the corner, so I'll let that go. Finding the teal is a little bit too intense. The value on these paint sticks from Paul Rubens is really excellent value, and they seem fairly highly pigmented, so we'll see the difference. They're not as shiny as the R&Fs. Maybe they don't have as much oil in them, but we'll see how they dry. Just trying to make this moody. Okay, that's not much contrast between my head there. So the R&F ones are definitely creamier. But like oil paints, you can start to get something that looks muddy. Let me see if I can scratch back into this a bit. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that I love scrapers and scraping. So that's bringing a little bit more mystery. Do some blending here. Want to bring a little more light in around the head so that you can actually see it. Becoming a bit of a lost figure there. Kind of mysterious. Not sure I'm really in love with this coral color here. Like to mute it down a bit. I'll try blending green over it. Might just make it all muddy. Yeah, that didn't really work. Like any medium, it takes a while to kind of get in the groove and figure out how they work and how you want to use them. So sketchbook is a perfect place to practice and test things. I really do like that color combination. Like how I can scrape back into it and get some of my dark underneath. I'm not sure if I'm finding that distracting. It's almost like I've got a couple of other figures starting to show up in here. Interesting. Well, I think if that's the case, I'm just going to try and enhance that idea. It's just going to be two figures, but I'm starting to see more now, and this often happens, so I'm going to continue bringing them out for now, and always take them away. It's actually purple. I picked up the wrong color, I think, but I'm going to scratch some of this color back off. Bring the black back in. I don't have black. That's missing element here. Oops. Okay, I'm scraping back into my background here. It's a very meditative feel. I didn't want to take that off though. So I'm wondering about scratching back into the back here with some writing. So this isn't saying anything. So just asemic writing to give that look of script. But if you have trouble doing this, one thing you can do is think about words and then just write them really loose. And I have a video on asemic writing that you might want to watch. That adds a little bit of interest to the top. Now I just wonder if I can do a little sketching, because this had a dark background. So what started out with 2 people ended up here having 5, and that's just how it works. Sometimes you get started and you start seeing more and more as you go, and I really like the kind of fog around that figure. I don't know if I can do a little bit more of that or not. Just going to come back in and try and come back to some of that copper. Scrape out some pattern. That's kind of fun. I wonder if I can lift some pattern. Yeah, that lifts a bit. find that head a little bit dark. Maybe dark wasn't the right word, maybe just too red. That's a little better. Do like the idea of some line, feeling that maybe these dots here are a little bit too dominant. So let's see. That might have made them worse. Maybe. Well, the teal was really bright, but just troubled by that one. Feeling like I need a little bit more division between these two figures here. This is not the greatest composition. Kind of my shoulders are all lined up a little bit too much the same height, but I think for an experiment it's fine. Maybe make some slight adjustments. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll do this other side with the same because they're going to have to set up and dry, so that's probably going to take maybe a couple weeks, I'm thinking. So if you want to use your sketchbook sooner, maybe this isn't the right medium, but it's a good place to experiment.